Hey, and welcome to the Systems Boutique podcast. I'm Dr. Ramona H. Lawrence. Most people just simply call me Dr. Ramona. I'm your systems stylist and your business operations expert. And I'm here to help you build a high-end boutique style back-end that creates ease and scalability for you without sacrificing the luxury experience your client absolutely deserve. So if you're a speaker, a coach, a consultant, a course creator, or author who's ready to stop the overwhelm, ditch the tech confusion, and finally streamline your systems and operations, you are in the right place. Each week, I'll bring you actionable strategy, expert insights, and behind the scenes business systems and operations insight to help you scale with ease, efficiency, and absolute excellence. So grab your notebook, your favorite cup of coffee or tea, and let's get to work. Welcome to the Systems Boutique, where systems meet style. Hey, and welcome to this week's episode of the Systems Boutique podcast. And who do we have in the boutique styling you today? It is the absolutely extraordinary Dr. Patrice Buckner Jackson. Let me tell you all, I am so excited to have Dr. PBJ, as we affectionately call her, in the boutique styling your systems today. Dr. PBJ is an excellent practitioner of burnout. She is an educator. She is a speaker, a coach, a consultant, a author, all the things. And so there is nobody better to talk to you about systems for disrupting burnout for speakers, coaches, all of you. You are going to love her. She is not only all of those things, she is my dear friend. We have had many years together where we have done many things, had many milestones. And Dr. PBJ, I could go on and on about you, but I am going to stop there and say welcome to the Systems Boutique podcast.
Dr. Ramona, I've been looking forward to this ever since I got the invitation. You hear me? I'm excited to let the people in on our conversations that we have all the time. Thank you, sister, for having me.
Absolutely. Y'all come on in behind the scenes, get your tea, your coffee, whatever it is. But one thing you absolutely have to have is your notebook and a pen or a pencil. You have got to get ready to take some notes. The last time I had Dr. PBJ on my former podcast, she was dropping gems left and right. I mean, I was on this thing like every 5 minutes, like, oh my goodness, my mind was blown. So get ready. Yes. And so Dr. PBJ, tell us a little bit more about you and your professional work and the different things that you do.
Absolutely. Well, again, I'm so excited to be here with you on the Systems Boutique podcast. As you know, I'm an educator, over 25 years on colleges and university campuses, serving our students, moving them in, moving them out, attending to their crisis, all of the things, child kicking them out of school sometimes. That's what I did for my career. And as a result of a lot of that pressure, of a lot of the things, I found myself in rock bottom burnout. And I had to come up with a way, learn a strategy, figure out a new approach for life because, Dr. Ramona, I don't know how to be half in. I don't know how to play. I don't know how to pretend, and I don't know how to fake it. If I'm going to do this thing, I'm all in. And being all in without the proper strategies took me straight to burnout. So, as a result of what I learned in recovering from burnout, I've been able to publish my first book. I'm able to travel this country speaking and leading workshops and giving folks, I call them purposeful professionals, the strategies for how you pour out purpose without continuing to live in the consequences of burnout. So, my whole life right now is serving purposeful professionals and helping them stay out of this vortex we call burnout and still pour out purpose.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. That is such an amazing purpose and an amazing calling in life. And so, as we're moving into this conversation, tell us what burnout even means, because a lot of times people are hearing this word. It's a big word right now, especially in the last few years. We've started to hear the word burnout. So, how do we know, first of all, the definition, and then how do we know we're in it?
I'm so glad you asked that question. So let's offer some context. So the World Health Organization offered an official agreed upon definition of burnout in November 2019. That was just a handful of years ago. So we finally acknowledged that burnout is a thing. But Dr. Ramona, listen, I got a little issue with the definition
Okay.
because they call burnout an occupational phenomenon. And I know some people who go to work for the break. So if we can, I like to offer my definition of burnout. Instead of just burnout, I talk about the phases of burning out. We think burnout is an incident, is a day, is a thing that happens. And I'm here to tell you it's a progression and it happens over years. And because we're not talking about the progression, people don't catch the symptoms, they don't catch the signs, and before they know it, they have a destructive incident in their life. So let's talk about the progression. The first phase of burning out I call surviving. In surviving, you know the load is heavy. You love your business, but you feel like it's choking you. You love your work. You know you have a mission. You know you have a purpose, but you don't know how to carry it because it feels so overwhelming and so heavy. When you're in surviving, it feels like you're on the roller coaster and you really wish somebody would stop the ride just for a moment so you can catch your breath. You don't want to quit. You don't want to run away. You just need a minute. When I talk to people who are in surviving and I say, "How are you, friend?" They often say, "I'm fine." Well, how's your business? It's fine. How's your family? It's fine. It's all fine. I want you to know fine is a mask word. And fine can mean a lot of things. Fine may mean if I told you, you wouldn't know what to do. So I'm fine. Fine may mean I don't even have the energy to have this conversation with you right now. So I'm fine. Or it could mean I don't know myself. I just know something's off. Something's wrong. If we don't do something different in surviving, then we move to the phase I call overwhelm. And overwhelm, it feels like the water level of your life is rising and you are fighting to keep your head above water. Where in surviving, you wear your professional mask very well. And unless people know you well, they think you're fine. You still meeting your goals. You still got your KPIs. You're still making a little money. Things are still going. It looks good, but you know you're fighting for your life. In overwhelm, you can't hide that thing no more. It starts to tell on you. All of the warnings, sirens, and sounds in your nervous system are going off. And where you used to feel like you were so creative, you can't access your creativity. Where you used to feel so strategic, you can't access your strategy anymore. Your nervous system begins to try to protect you to say, this is not good. We are not well. We cannot keep going this way. And Dr. Ramona, this is where people start to isolate themselves. This is where they start to back away from community and from team and from family, from people who care about them, because their heart feels like, I can't take on one more thing. I cannot care about one more thing. If we don't do something different, we move from overwhelm to burnout. Overwhelm is the whisper. Burnout is the demand. You will stop. You will. And you don't get to plan it. You don't get to schedule it. You don't get to say, hey, burnout, listen, just wait till Q4. Just sit in the corner. I got a few things. I got this launch and I got this thing and I'm trying to publish this book and I'm trying to get on these stages. Just have a seat. Let me get through Q3 and then Q4, I'll shut it down and you can do whatever you're going to do. Burnout could care less about your purpose, your business, or your health. It shows up to steal everything that means the most to you. I call burnout the involuntary automatic shutdown. Something stops. something breaks and you can't hide it. So that's how I define burnout. And I am convinced that there are so many authors, speakers, consultants who walked away not because they weren't good enough, not because it wasn't worthy work, not because it wasn't their purpose, but because they were burnt out and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, we can just stop the recording right now. So we're going from surviving where we're saying, I'm fine. And how many times have we heard that? Yeah. And then we are in overwhelm where there's a whisper. And then burnout just screams and shuts you down. And it does not care about timing. Right.
No, man.
Wow. And so you wrote a whole book on this.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us a little bit about the book, Disrupting Burnout, and some of the things that are really helpful in that book for speakers, coaches, consultants, authors.
So, first of all, I just need to acknowledge how you supported me in that process. From not just being my beta reader, not just being my champion and my cheerleader, but I specifically remember a day where I was just overwhelmed and not feeling like I knew what to do next. I was wrestling with the subtitle of the book, and I reached out to you and you're like, "Girl, here's your subtitle." And I mean, as soon as you gave it to me, the professional woman's lifeline to finding purpose, everything that I was physically feeling in my body just released. I went from feeling absolutely ill to just euphoric because that was the answer that I needed. So I will always acknowledge you. I will always honor you for what you were and are to that journey of the book.
Well,
Ebook
okay,
just
whoa. Because, see, I know y'all see how my friend tries to just throw me in there. Listen, no. I got there because, y'all, I read this thing. This book is absolutely one of the most life-changing texts I have ever read in my life. I talk about it at least a couple of times a week because moving from burnout to being able to discover your brilliance, that's why I do the Systems Boutique. This book is why I know that my brilliance is systems. And remember, I came to that from reading this book as the beta reader. So I know you want to skip over all that, but that is what brought me to knowing because I saw it and felt it as a lifeline for the professional woman. So all I did was spit out what you had already given to me. So I am giving the credit back to you, Dr. PBJ, because it's from the pages of this book that I could come up with that so quickly and so easily. It was there already. You just needed to hear it from somebody else's voice because you were so much into the writing and all of the things, right? And so, yeah. So back to you.
and I appreciate you and I love you. And can I just say, this is why you need community, friends.
Yeah.
This is why you need real people in your life. I know that you all are getting to know Dr. Ramona and all the things that she does in the world. She does all kinds of things and still took time to read my book cover to cover. And I trusted her before the book was edited, before it was fancy, before you all had any chance of seeing it. She took this printed out 8 by 11 pages and read it cover to cover, wrote comments, got on Zoom with me. Girl, let's walk through this thing. You need community in your life who do not compete with you, but who complement you. Because all of us, especially when you are trying to deliver a message that is life changing, when you are trying to bring forth purpose, you have to expect resistance. You have to. You have to expect that there's going to be a challenge. If there is no challenge, you need to question the quality of what you're giving. So when you know you are delivering to the world something that is transformational, you have to have people around you. You don't need 100 people, but you need the right people. You need the right people. So this book is my journey, Dr. Ramona, from rock bottom burnout to discovering my brilliance, and not just my testimony, but the testimonies of women that I've had the opportunity to serve and coach and walk alongside. How do you bring yourself from the crushing weight of burnout to this place full of, you may call it purpose, I call it brilliance, that innate, unique impact that you bring to the world like nobody else? Do you even know what that impact is? There are so many authors and speakers and consultants and folks who are working. You're working, but you don't even know the value you bring. You don't know the impact that you make on people. This book guides professional women from that overwhelm, from that surviving, from that burnout place, through the strategies we call heart work, to this place of fulfillment, of brilliance and purpose. And that's what Disrupting Burnout does.
That is so good. And I just remember as you walk through the journey of disrupting burnout yourself, I could really see myself in the book. And so when we had a podcast episode a few weeks ago where one of the coaches was saying, you should be able to speak in a way that that person no longer sees you, but they see themselves. And that is truly what happens in this book. And it is so good. And so I highly, highly recommend it to anybody who is even remotely wanting to disrupt burnout, or they're wanting to prevent that disruption from happening, because we don't want to get to the point where we're already at burnout, right? We want to prevent some things. So let's start to talk about that, because burnout is real. But at the Systems Boutique, we really believe that overwhelm is often a systems problem in disguise. So, how do you see the lack of boundaries? Because I know you talk about boundaries in this book. How do you see the lack of boundaries and structure playing into burnout, especially for high achieving women or these high achieving speakers, coaches, consultants, authors?
Absolutely. I'll start by saying boundaries are not a fad. We're having these conversations about boundaries because we see it on social media and it sounds good, and there's some new books out, and all of that's great. But it is so critically important for us to understand that boundaries are protection. How do you protect what means most to you in the world? Let me change that question. What are you unwilling to lose? What are you unwilling to lose as you continue to pursue your dream and your vision and your business? What are you unwilling to lose as you continue to pour your life out and your heart out to serve other people? What are you unwilling to lose? I agree that lack of boundaries and burnout is a system problem. So in order to protect what means most to you, what systems can you implement into your life that serve as a fence or a guardrail around what means most to you? It may be family related. So, oh my gosh, being a solopreneur, your business is your whole life. Like, it is everything. There's no 8 to 5 around here. It is 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Then you pick it back up at 11. We don't have the structure of 9 to 5 all the time. We're often working from our homes because we are it. Like, it's on us. We're on all the time. So even more reason that you have to have some systems in place in order to protect what means most to you. For example, maybe you need a system of a morning routine. Maybe you start with moving your body, investing in your spirit, investing in your mind before you jump into client requests and emails and building the launch and doing the things. And what that does is it helps you protect your mental health, it helps you protect your spiritual health, it helps you protect your body before you dive in to do the work. And often those things feel like the things we don't have time to do. Like, I'm a business owner. I don't have time to do this and that and do this and that. But those are the things that are going to sustain you, because you're no good to your business if your body's not working. You're no good to your business if your mind is cluttered. If your heart is overwhelmed, you're no good to your business. So maybe your system is, I need to set a wake up time and honor it. And for the first 30 minutes, for the first hour, I'm going to invest in me before I start to do the work to invest in other people. So that's just one example of how you can implement a system as a boundary that will protect you from overwhelm.
I'm working on a certification as a director of operations, and one of the things that we recently started doing was a how I work document. So this is just an amazing way to set boundaries with clients. It's a simple system, and you put together a document. You tell them about you. You might say, okay, I have to be in car line at 3 o'clock, so I don't work after 3 o'clock. And then it says, here's the reasons that I don't work, and here's how much you'll have to pay if you have to contact me at this time of night, and all of these things. And then telling them, other fun things or other things that create a boundary around how you want to do things. And often we just allow people to just do us how they want to do, because we have this mindset of, if I don't do all the things, if I don't do everything that everybody wants me to do, if I don't take everything that they dished out, then they're going to choose somebody else. And that is the mindset that is totally leading to burnout, because we are not taking charge of how we work. We're not, right after that contract, from now on, I'm going to have my contract and then this how I work document that has all of these categories that talks about these things, because those boundaries are keeping us safe. They're protecting our values. They're protecting the way that we need to move about and navigate life. And I think that when we set these things up with our clients or with people that we work with, then that's another weight that's lifted, because people aren't guessing. And often, yeah, we're misaligned, right? Because if you say, here, I'm working, right? I'm working with you, then my idea of working with you is different than your idea of working with me.
Mm. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. This reminds me of I watch your Making It Up with Mona
Yeah.
post on social media, and this reminds me of the post you did about scarcity mindset. One of the reasons why we dishonor our own boundary is because we have a scarcity mindset. If I don't do what they want me to do, I'm going to lose. I'm going to miss it. Somebody else will get it. An abundance mindset says, what's mine is mine, and I will have more than enough while honoring my boundaries. And what we don't realize is people appreciate knowing where the line is. Good people. Now, there might be some people out there who don't honor it, and those are the people that you need boundaries for the most. But most people, if you say, this is how I work and this is what you can expect from me, people appreciate that. I want to know where the line is, what I can expect, what service to me looks like. It reminds me of being a professor and having a syllabus for your students. You give them a syllabus so it's not a gotcha game. They don't have to guess what right looks like or how to excel in your environment, because you've outlined what the expectations are. We should be doing the same thing for our customers and our clients. Outline what they can expect, because people will trust you more when they are not surprised and they know exactly what to expect. Not surprised in a bad way. Now, we always want to shock and surprise them in beautiful ways, but people will trust us and return to us. They will want to continue working with us when they understand what the expectations are. So that's a beautiful practice. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so we're going to be implementing these things in the Systems Boutique, y'all. So, I think it's just a beautiful way to protect boundaries because we often hear people talk about mission, vision, and values, but they don't talk about this. These are the boundaries that I have that protect all of that, right? And so, yes, we're going to be doing that. And so I'm excited to roll that out. Let's play a little game because this conversation can be heavy. And so I want to make sure that we are giving the people the information that they need, but also, giving them a little bit of lighthearted things as well. And so if Burnout had a signature outfit, what would it wear? And more importantly, what system would you design to snatch it out of that tired look and give it a makeover?
Burnout would be the most menacing black trench coat with the hood, head to toe, sliming its way through. Just slipping its way through because burnout doesn't want to be caught. It doesn't want to be seen. It doesn't want to call attention until everything is burning down. So it would have the most menacing from a scary movie, overwhelming black from head to toe is what burnout would look like.
Okay. And
Yes.
so the makeover, what would you do to make it over?
Ooh, okay. All right. So I always say that shame can't stay where you shine a light on it. And it's the same thing from burnout, right? Like you want to lighten that thing up, you want to brighten it. So you want to pull that black trench coat off and you want to fit the life of the person. What is that couture fit? So if you love springy colors, if you love a tailored suit, whatever is unique and specific couture for that business owner, for that person, for that woman, that's what their life should look like.
Yes, I love that. And, we always talk about systems that fit your brand style, right? And so I think that that is one of the things that produces burnout too. So you made me think about that, where we try to wear other people's systems for even disrupting burnout. And so you talk about things like if people think that you're supposed to do this time management, right? Or just get your calendar better and you can disrupt burnout, right? So let's talk about some of those things where the system doesn't really fit the person for disrupting burnout.
Yes, my friend. Listen, all the things that they've told us, these surface solutions that they've given us to say, oh, just take a walk. Oh, just get a facial. Here are a few things. Let's start with time management, right? So when I go in to do a workshop or a training, I always tell the people, I did not come to give you new calendar tactics. You can Google that. And as a matter of fact, I had 3 calendars and a personal assistant when I hit rock bottom burnout, and it was not their fault that I got to that place. So there's nothing wrong with time management, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Burnout is a deeper thing. What's in my emotional backpack that drives me to work the way that I work, that drives me to overwhelm, that drives me to overperform and overachieve the way that I do? Unless you understand those things, no fancy calendar is ever going to be helpful. Another thing that we're told is you just need to be more resilient. If you had more resilience, then you wouldn't have to worry about burnout. Burnout shouldn't be a problem if you have resilience. And let me tell you what I'm seeing as I travel this country. I am meeting people who know how to fall down and get back up. I'm meeting people who know how to stand in the middle of the storm, people who have been pushed into a corner and know how to fight their way out. It's not a lack of resilience. As a matter of fact, what I'm finding is folks have had to be resilient too often. They have over and over and over had to be resilient, and their nervous system is exhausted. So It's not just more resilience. And friend, I gotta say this, and I know people don't like it. It's not work-life balance. It's
You know
not.
what? We can't balance our work and our life. Look, I've been trying to do this for years. Come on. You telling
Friend,
me to no?
friend, let me tell you. So work-life balance looks like, I don't know if y'all are watching on YouTube, but work-life balance looks like I'm gonna pick up my kid and I got my business and oh, I'm still working too. So I got my job and I got family members in the community and all the things, and you're trying to carry all your things all at the same time. We've been taught that good leadership means that you can balance all of your responsibilities all at the same time, all the time. And people are tired, but they're feeling like it's them. I must be, I'm tearing stuff up now. I must not be good enough. I must not be strong enough. I must not be a good business leader because carrying all these things has become overwhelming for me. And the truth that I tell is that's not sustainable for anybody. Nobody can do it. I don't care whose business you're looking up to right now. If they are succeeding, if they are thriving, not just succeeding, if they are thriving, it's because they have help. It's not because they're carrying all their things all at the same time. So instead of that, I want you to think of a system of what is the priority of the moment, not the day, not the week, certainly not the month. What is the priority of the moment in this moment? So, this moment you chose to listen to this conversation with us. And you may be doing a couple other things while you're listening, but you chose in this moment that you're going to give your attention to this conversation. Choose the conversation. Get all the goods out of this moment. Hear everything you need to hear out of this conversation. And when the podcast ends, you can put this priority down and choose your next one and don't feel guilty about it. So it's about the priority of the moment, not carrying all your things and learning how to balance them. Balance is not sustainable. It's not even humane. No person can do that well for a long period of time.
I love that because there are often so many ways, and it's like, okay, when we're at work, we think about home. When we're at home, we think about work. When we're exercising, we say we should be cooking something. When we're speaking, we think that we should be working on a curriculum. When we're writing, we think that we should be preparing to speak. There's just so many things. And so I love the fact that you said, what is it in the moment? Because it's not even like, how do we plan out this whole week, this whole day? It's, yes, I need to know, the things that I've got to do, but how do I look at this moment and say, okay, if I planned to write this speech, then let me be present in
Yes.
writing this speech in this moment. And in the next moment, I can do the next thing, right? So I think that's so good because it takes so much weight off of us and off of our mind. Because when your mind is clear, your body feels more clear. It feels lighter. The day feels lighter.
Yeah, it reminds me there was a time where we had former First Lady Laura Bush come speak to our students. It was a leadership talk, and a few of them had dinner with her prior to her talk. And one of the students asked her, "Well, how do you do it all?" And I've heard them ask other female leaders, particularly that question before, "How do you do it all?" And I'll never forget her answer. She said, "You can have it all, but you can't have it all at the same time." So you got to learn how to make the shift. And you're exactly right. You may feel like you're struggling to write your book, but the truth is, it's in you. You haven't given that book the priority of the moment. You're so busy being pulled on, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, or next I got to do that you don't allow your mind to be focused on one thing. And I learned that from writing my dissertation. I did the same thing in writing my book. I had to carve out time just for writing, nothing else. And for me, everybody's different. For me, it was blocks of time. So 2 hours, 4 hours, I'm not doing anything else but writing. And when it's time to put it down, and I took breaks in between, but when it's time to put it down, I'm going to put it down and then I'm going to go to something different. And what I found is that allowed everything to flow out of me freely because my mind and my heart were not torn between all my responsibilities at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So good. So let's talk about this idea of rest because I've heard you talking about this, and there are lots of myths for us around why we can't rest, especially if you think about the audience. We're speakers, we're coaches, we're consultants, we're authors. Some of us still have our full-time job, right? And so there's so many things to do, and that's just the work pieces. There's the family and the church and the organizations that we're a part of and all of these things. And so when you think about rest, I think there are so many reasons and excuses that we can give for not resting. And so let's talk about those. Some of the myths that we can have because and what are those things that are secretly burning us out because we're believing these myths?
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's so many of them. I want to pull out a few that I hear very often. So one that I hear very often is I have small children. I have young children and they have their own schedules. And when I leave work, I go home to my next responsibility. So I can't rest. I can't stop. And my challenge, and for all of these, first of all, for all of these excuses, my challenge is what happens if you don't? What will happen if you don't find space for rest? So let me just say that specifically for those who say, well, I have children and I honor that. I honor that you have children and you are a good parent and you want to take care of your responsibilities and your body, your mind need this, right? So I always say, who else loves your children? Not only do you need community, but they need community. So whether there are family members that are close or friends that have become family because you are community to each other, or find another mom or another dad who also needs a break and trade off. Say, listen, I'll keep them this Friday if you keep them next Friday and we will both get a break. What I find, Dr. Ramona, is we are so strategic and creative at work. It's amazing how when you're working for somebody else's vision, the best of you comes out. But when it's time to use that same creativity and that same strategy and that same gift for your own vision and your own life, for some reason we can't access it. So I have to remind people you are creative, you are strategic, you are a problem solver. You use it all the time to solve everybody else's problems. It is time to use those to resolve your own. So be creative, okay? You have children, they go to school. Get in that car line, drop those babies off like it's a regular day, take you a day off. Go rest. They won't have to know. Get back in the car line at 3 o'clock. Pick them up, and you have had a few hours to yourself. So think about how you can be creative. I also hear my boss, because a lot of people work and have their business. So I don't have a boss that honors rest, or I'll get left behind in my career field if I stop or if I rest. And so I want to encourage you again, engage that strategy. How can you communicate in the language that your organization or your boss speaks in? So, what matters to them? You don't have to say, I'm tired and I need a break. You can say, rest and renewal for the team is important. Here's some data for that. And I have an idea of how we can implement some rest and renewal. Don't even make it about you, make it about the team, but you would benefit from it as well, right? I'll give an example. So after 2020, my team on campus, they were exhausted. We were moving students in, moving them out, isolating them, feeding them, doing all the things. They were completely exhausted. And I couldn't pay them more money. I could not allow them to work from home because we're what they call essential workers. So that means we always have to be on campus. So we came up with a proposal called Reading and Research Days. And you're working, you're not taking time off, but you're not working here. You're working at the lake somewhere. You're visiting a colleague on another campus, and we will cover you. You don't check email that day, you don't answer the phone that day. We got your back. But it became a time that people could think. We're so used to going from Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting. There's no stop. There is no break. So there are ways to incorporate these stops and these breaks and this rest. Another way that I tell corporate folks or even folks who have their own business is, does every meeting take a whole hour? Can you schedule it for an hour, get it done in 15 or in 45 minutes, and have 15 minutes to recover? Give your client, give your colleagues the gift of 15 minutes back. Honor the time. Let's get it done. Come in, lock in, get it done, and say, hey, we did it, friends. Take a few minutes for yourself. Dr. Ramona, it doesn't have to be a month off. It can be what I call a micro break. 3 to 5 minutes throughout the day where you just catch your breath and allow your brain to recover.
Yeah, I love that micro break because I think that we often think it has to be these huge blocks of time. It has to be this big thing like we're going on vacation. So I'm sure people are like, well, I don't have the money. I don't have the time to do that. But these micro breaks give you that renewal during the day. And it's something that you can do every day. Right. And so that is a great way of preventing burnout because now we're not just waiting for these vacations. We're doing things that are incorporated into our daily routines so that we have that maintenance and that sustainability of the disruption. Yeah.
I always tell folks you shouldn't constantly need a vacation from your own life. If you constantly need a vacation from your life, that tells me that your rhythm is off. Think about it this way. I've been talking a lot about rhythm reset, Dr. Ramona, and this thing is so real to me. If we think about our lives, everything is set on a rhythm. Like the first music you heard was your mom's heartbeat. Our bodies run on heartbeat, blood pressure, blood vessels pumping. Like we're all on a rhythm. If you think about time, now I know everything's digital and fancy now, but think back to an old clock that had a second hand. Tick, tick, tick. Even tides falling, rising. Everything operates on a rhythm. And when we find ourselves living at a rhythm that is not sustainable, the rest allows us to change the rhythm back to a rhythm that is sustainable that we can live with. So when we're talking about micro breaks, we're talking about inserting stops and pauses that allow you to slow your rhythm so that you can be more creative, more strategic, more wise. Because when your rhythm is off, you cannot access that executive thinking. Your nervous system says, no, we just need to survive right now. We don't have time to be fancy. Right? So if you find that you're losing your creativity, if you find that you have a challenge in your business and you can't figure out how to fix it, it's not because you don't have the answers, because you can't access it. Start with incorporating some micro breaks that will allow you to slow your rhythm, and that will allow you to access your creativity and your strategy.
Yes, so good. And so we talk about strategy and we talk about creativity. And so if we open your personal burnout prevention toolkit, what would we find in there? And how can we make these systems like just boutique style, right? Boutique style blissful. So we're thinking about disrupting burnout. And then if we have our toolkit, tell us what should be in it and what's in yours.
I love it. So first of all, I need you to check your baggage. Now, you can't have the right style without the right bag. You know this, Dr. Ramona. You got to have the right bag. And some of us are walking around with backpacks, with luggage, with trunks of definitions and standards and old lessons that are driving us to burnout. So I always tell people, check your baggage. Check your backpack. What are you carrying? What definitions have been passed down to you that are driving you to overwork, overwhelm, and burnout? So you need to transition to the cute bag. You need to take some of that weight out, lay some of that stuff aside, identify those things that have been driving you internally, lay it aside, and get you a cute bag for your style. Okay, only carry what you need. Lay everything else down. If it is not serving you well, it's time to lay down the weight. So you got to check your baggage. Number two, we already talked about boundaries. We already had this conversation. You've got to have some systems in place that will protect what means most to you, your mind, your body, your family, your most critical relationships. Put your systems in place. And Dr. Ramona, I'll say that the Systems Boutique has offered boundaries for me that has saved my business. Because being a solopreneur and connecting with the Systems Boutique, where now I don't just have the electronic system, but I have a team. There are people, and you often say, why are you doing that? You tell me that all the time. Why would you do that? Just submit it to the team. They'll take care of it. So the Systems Boutique has been a boundary and a system for me that has allowed me to excel. I'm talking financially. I'm talking about opening new doors. I'm traveling more, speaking more, working more than I ever have because I can release some things. And I know that they're going to be taken care of, and not just taken care of, but at the highest level of excellence. I can trust you and the Systems Boutique with my baby, with my business, right? And so that has been a boundary for me, a system for me that has released me to be more and to do more. And the final piece that's in my toolkit is discovering your brilliance. And when I talk about discover your brilliance, I want you to think about that statement piece, that necklace, that earring, that shoe, that piece that just gives you the bling, the part where you walk in the room, everybody's like, ooh, where'd that come from? What is that? It's the part of the outfit that calls the attention that people can't help but look at it. It's a magnet. And not that you need the attention, but it's just that good. It is just that good. And you like the dress, you like the outfit, but it's that one piece that brings it all together. Your innate, unique brilliance is the thing that not just frees your heart, but will open the door for you to serve more because it is how you transform people, systems, and organizations. So that brilliance is that statement piece on the outfit that you cannot leave home without.
I love that. And I really feel like that's a perfect analogy for brilliance and in the way that you express that in the book, that it's not about what you've been trained to do, right? It's not the education that you got. It's that thing that even from a little kid, you were doing a little bit better than everybody else. And like for me, it's the systems. I was putting together puzzles. You want me on your team because I am going to figure out how it all connects and we're going to get the right answer. And I still do that now. It just out in regular, life. I'm always thinking about logistics. How does this fit together? How do we connect the dots between all of these things? And so as you all are thinking about your brilliance, that's one thing that was really brought out in the book is don't think about just what you've been trained to do. What is that thing that comes so naturally to you that other people are like, "Oh, wow." It's the statement piece that when you're in the room, you do that differently than everybody else. Even if it seems simple to you, it can be translated into a business or how you work or the thing that you do to serve and impact the world.
Oh my gosh, yes. And you know what makes that statement piece so wonderful is the confidence to carry it.
Oh,
You can
mhm.
have that necklace and those earrings or that bag or those shoes, but if you're timid and you don't know how to walk in it, you're detracting away from its brilliance. But as you walk through this process of disrupting burnout, not only are we going to help you discover that brilliance, but we're going to help you be confident in it. Because I always say it's too much going on in this world for you to pretend that you're not brilliant. We can't afford it, friend. We cannot afford for you to pretend that there's not brilliance in you. And Dr. Ramona, we've been taught to hide behind it. We've been taught to put a cover over it, to not be prideful. This is not about being prideful, it's about being responsible. When you know who you are and the impact you bring to the world, you are responsible for sharing it.
Mm. That's so good. Yes, you are responsible for sharing it. So, PBJ, okay, this has been an amazing conversation. I want to do something real quick though before we end. You ready for some rapid fire questions that we can do real quick? You up
Let's
for
do it.
it? Okay. So, I'm going to ask you some things. They're really short and just whatever comes off the top of your head, tell me your answer to it. Okay. System or spontaneity? Which one fuels your creativity and keeps burnout at bay?
System all day long.
Yeah, that would be my answer too. System, absolutely. Okay. One word you'd use to describe burnout before you disrupted it.
Wait.
Yeah, yeah, good. So, what's your go to system or ritual for a midday reset when burnout tries to creep in?
Listen, I love a good dance party. I
Yeah.
will turn the music up I'm talking about by myself, all by myself. I will turn the music up, get out of my chair and dance until my heart feels better.
I love that. I was working with somebody the other day and they said, "Let's do a dance party." And I was like, "Are you serious?" So she turned on these R&B and just, TLC came on and it was so much fun. And it's like, yeah, it really just breaks up this, tension in anything that you're trying to do. And that is such an amazing activity. So I'm going to do that even more. Okay. So, email overload or meeting fatigue, which one burns you out faster?
I'm meeting fatigue. My goodness. It's like you're in prison. Let me out of here.
This could have been an email, right?
Send me the email. I can control that, but do not keep me captive in this meeting.
Yes, yes. Okay. So you have 60 seconds to rescue one thing from your burnout free business. What are you grabbing? Your planner, your assistant, or your boundaries?
Ooh, child, this is hard. I gotta say boundaries, but very close second, my assistant. Very, very close second. I love her and I cannot do
Yes.
this without her. Listen, without them boundaries, you're no good to anybody, including
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, that's good. Good stuff. So this one is a good one, and the audience will like this one. One thing you had to unlearn to truly disrupt burnout.
I had to unlearn that I owe everybody.
Mm.
I had to accept that I bring value just by walking in the room. That God has put a gift of brilliance in me that the world needs, and I don't have to work hard for it. It freely flows from me. So just because I'm in the room, I know value is there. So I don't owe anybody anything except to be me.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so your favorite self care treat that's not bubble baths or candles.
I have fallen in love with stretching. Now, listen, Dr. Ramona, folks may not know it, but I was a cheerleader. I was the captain of the cheerleading squad. I was a
What? What?
serious cheerleader. And in cheerleading, we were like, okay, let's stretch first, but we were playing around. Like, we just thought that was a throwaway, whatever. We just got to do it so we don't hurt ourselves. But in these good 40s, I have found that stretching not only gives me more flexibility, but it relieves chronic pain. It allows me to run through these airports and get on these stages and use my body. So I have fallen in love with stretching.
Oh, that is so good. So, with that, then, I hope that you all have been cheered on today to release your burnout and to disrupt it. I hope you have been stretched and you are thinking about new ways to be creative, to get your boundaries in check, to make sure that you have released your baggage. And I absolutely know that you have enjoyed hearing from Dr. PBJ. And so I'm sure that you all want to hear more from her. So, Dr. PBJ, how can we keep in touch with you? How do we get our hands on Disrupting Burnout, the book, and anything else that you want to tell us before we hop off?
Absolutely. I would invite everybody to come on over to the Disrupting Burnout podcast so that you can hear us talk more about how to get this rest, how to stop in the middle of chaos, how to work with colleagues and leaders and other folks concerning burnout. So come on over and visit us there. And the book is available wherever online books are sold. So Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes and Noble, wherever you buy your books online, then you can purchase Disrupting Burnout, the professional woman's lifeline to finding purpose. And as always, Dr. Ramona, it has been my honor to spend this time with you.
Oh my goodness. So the honor is totally mine. And you have gotten a treat today. And so this was another episode of the Systems Boutique podcast. Thank you, Dr. PBJ. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye. All right, my chic CEOs, that's a wrap for today's episode. If you found value in today's conversation, do me a favor. Subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with another star. That's a speaker, a teacher, an author, or a coach who absolutely needs it. And hey, if you're ready to finally get your systems together, let's chat. Head over to thesystemsboutique.com/strategy to book your systems style strategy call, where we'll map out your perfect business back end. So until next time, keep it chic, keep it systemized, and keep shining like the absolute star you are. See ya.